Gentlemen, welcome to your HSBN Media Day press conference. Coach, if we can begin just by introducing yourself and also the players at the table with you.
My name is Noel Figueroa, head coach at Flanagan High School. To my left, I have Steven Schisler, our center fielder. To my right, Tyler Epstein, our shortstop. And to the far right, I have Miguel Osechi, our starting catcher.
Let's start first. Just share a little bit about you taking over the head reins this year.
Yeah, it was an interesting situation when I was told. Coach Evans kind of didn't really divulge a lot of the information that he wanted to leave or yet, but then finally it just, it hit right off. It was like a bombshell. And we were all thinking that he was leaving next year because that's what we were under the impression. And, it became the right situation for him to go. So he took off and he asked me, I need you to step, to be the guy. And then he went to the administration and the administration agreed. So, I took over the program. I've been his assistant for 13 years. This would have been the 14th. I've been a head coach in Dade County before that, but not in Broward. So it's an interesting situation. Plus, I know the guys, and these guys all started off with us. Especially these two guys to my right and left. They've been here since ninth graders, and Usechi came 2 years ago. So this is an interesting situation. Good team. So we're putting it together and see what happens.
Kind of made it a little easier for you guys as players that your coach leaves, but the guy taking over is someone that you're all very comfortable with. What's that been like for you guys?
It's honestly a great feeling knowing we got Coach Fig taking over. Great guy, great coach. Should be a lot of fun this year.
And I don't know if these guys even know that. I mean, obviously you've been a part of some championship runs,
Yes,
at Flanagan, but you also took Southwest Miami to the state Final Four back when you coached there.
Correct.
Just talk about having that sort of experience already as a head coach as opposed to as an assistant with Flanagan doing it.
Yeah, no, it's been really nice, especially in '99 when we had a team that really everybody. We were the underdogs or the Cinderella story, so to speak, in Dade County, and we ended up going to the Final Four. We lost 1-0. Great game. We had our team was a team that started off awfully slow, and then we ended up, just beating everybody in our way. But that this team reminds me a lot of that team because I remember that year I lost my starting shortstop and my ace. One went to Columbus, and the other one went to Southridge. And this year we ended up losing one player as well. But it parallels a little bit this team to that team. I think this team's a lot more talented than that team was, even though that team made it to the Final Four. But we'll just have to wait and see.
And Final Four is kind of that's the goal. The expectations and the goals you set at Flanagan are obviously that's one of them. Talk about that being the kind of staple of what you guys expect to do every year.
Yes, sir. For the last 4 years, we've been coming in at the beginning of the year expecting to go to the Final Four. We don't really expect anything less. If we don't make it there, it's almost as a failed season. So we're always working hard from August all the way up until hopefully the end of May, beginning of June to make it up to Fort Myers.
If you can, just like he talked about, you guys got started back up in August. Share with us a little bit about what your fall program is like, and were there any new wrinkles, obviously, with it being your year doing it?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Evans obviously started something here that's worked for years and years, and it's nothing. I've been with him, and everything that we've done since he was here was the same thing that we did this year. We had our conditioning program starting in September, went all the way to December. We have a conditioning coach, a speed and agility guy that comes in and works with us and helps our players in every way. And then we play a little bit of a fall season where we play 15 games and just to stay tuned, we practice. So it's pretty much a tune-up for January. And that's basically what we do. We do the same thing every year. We haven't changed it. I mean, we're not going to divert from what's worked. And that's obviously something that for us has worked in the past. We're not going to, Coach Evans started something really good here, and we're just going to continue. If there's need for change at some point, we'll make it. But we haven't really changed much,
I
except
guess
for
if it's not broken, you don't need to fix
it's
it,
not
right?
broken, it's not fixed, right?
As a guy that's, came into the program, in recent years, is that something you think about much, about, the traditions, like you said, what Coach Evans kind of helped start here? Now that you're wearing that uniform, do you ever think about that aspect?
I mean, definitely it comes to my head, being able to stay with the Flanagan name, being a big program, being able to wear that name proudly, knowing that the history here, and just having to meet the expectations that are set when I got here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a school that's won state championships. It's been a national champion before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's that like for you guys as players? You go to the field every day, you see those banners, you see those reminders.
Just adrenaline rush through your body, just being able to step out on that field and look at those banners. It's great. Just all smiles.
For the players, just wanted to get your perspective now that you guys are coming back as leaders, and maybe even for the first time. How was this off season a little different for you guys, coming back more in a leadership role than it has been in previous seasons?
We've been working hard. All of us have kind of taken on our leadership roles. We have had great leaders in front of us to kind of follow up, so we have a good sense of what we need to do in order to be a good leader and lead by example.
Talk a little bit about the start of the season, because you guys, you always start with the Falcon Classic. It's a very competitive tournament. It seems like it always kind of sets the right tone to get the year started for you guys.
Yeah, we're a firm believer that I mean, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best, and if you play the best and you beat the best, then you obviously should be in the conversation. Yeah, we start off with Calvary Christian, first game, 7 o'clock on Monday, 7 p.m. And they're ranked. I'm assuming they're nationally ranked because they got a pretty good squad. So that we're tested right out of the gate. I mean, we've always done that. We always want to play the best possible competition. We don't shy away from it. We want to play the best teams. And these guys know that. They know they need to step up, because when the lights turn on, they got to play. And that's no different playing in that game than playing down the line somewhere in the region, or where you're going to see somebody like that, or a pitcher that's going to go out there and shove. So we expect to play people like that.
Tell us about more about the schedule from the players' perspective. Who are you guys looking forward to playing this year?
I mean, really for us, every game really is a game to look forward to, especially with our schedule. It's a really tough schedule, but I believe it's the best schedule for us as players, because it really brings out the best in us. So we play the best and we're able to stay there and compete with them. So it means something that we're able to ride the top.
I mean, every team that comes in to play us, they want to beat us. They want to throw their best. They want to play their best, and just that feeling, knowing that every team wants to come in and beat us, is just makes us want to kill them and put them to sleep.
Could I say something on that before? Yeah, this year, I mean, make no mistake about it. This is probably the hardest schedule we've had, or at least
Which says a lot.
one of the hardest schedules we've ever put together here. We got Farragut from Tennessee coming down to play us. We play American Heritage, which we haven't played since 2010. It was the last time we played, and we lost 1-0. That was the last time we played Heritage. We play the Jupiters, we play the Park Vistas, we play Columbus. So our schedule is top loaded. I mean, and we're gonna have to step up, because it's gonna be a tough schedule to deal with.
We always like to play the best competition. I feel like there's a bigger atmosphere that we have to live up to, and we always have a target on our back, and we wear that target proudly, knowing that we have the Flanagan name on our chest. We're playing for Flanagan, not for ourselves, and we just look forward to every game to go out and compete.
And especially with a program like yours, and I'm assuming it's probably the case again this year, that you generally have a lot of kids that go on to play baseball at the next level. Again, playing programs like this, some of these bigger venues, some of the probably the toughest schedule, in years. how much does that help prepare these guys for the next level of baseball?
Well, a lot of the guys come back after playing for us and they said, you know, we practice harder in high school than we do in college, and you know, some of the things we do, we don't even do at the college level. So that makes us feel good because we kind of our players are usually very well prepared when they get to the next level. These 3 guys are going on to play college baseball. Miguel is committed to FIU. And the 2 gentlemen here, Stephen and Tyler, are going to Nova Southeastern. They're committed. We also have another 3 guys that are committed as well. And there's a 4th guy that I was just talking to a coach yesterday that he might be committed out of our 9 seniors. We have possibly 7, possibly 8 at this point.
And coming in as a new coach, even though you've been around these guys before, talk about things that might stay the same and things that may change, and especially in terms of style of play. You know, what do you see as a coach, and maybe some of the players can talk about it too.
Well, you know, I've given kind of a little bit of more free range to the guys to do. Like before, we used to be, you know, our Coach Evans would call every pitch and so on and so forth. This year we're experimenting with Meg calling calling the ball game until we see something that we have to change. Also with the infielders, and I'm in charge of that. You know, that they have free range to pick plays and certain things that before was always structured, always very you know, kind of puppeteered in a way, which we've gotten away from that a little bit. We want them to grow a little bit more as young men and as ball players in that aspect. I think that's the key, or that's the one thing that we've changed. As far as coaching styles, you know, we're both old school. Coach Evans was really old school and a disciplinarian. I'm the same way. You know, we want structure in that form and discipline. And you know, classrooms first, then baseball second, and that hasn't changed. That's still the same way. And as far as you know, plays and stuff like that, yeah, we've changed some things which we're not going to talk about. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, and it's exciting. We have a lot of team speed. We're going to run. We're going to do some things. We're going to create excitement.
Well, I'm sure all the other teams in the district are watching. You sure don't want to share some of the secrets?
No.
Well, guys, here's to sharing those secrets out on the field once we get started.
Let's see.
Best of luck this season, and you know, you're out the gate. You're playing one of the best at Calvary. It should be a great year for you guys.
Oh yeah, it's going to be interesting, and we got Douglas second, and then Coral Park third that same week. So we'll see how that goes.
Well,
Thank you.
All
here's
right,
to a
guys.
great season, guys. Thanks again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Rick?